This semester has been a roller coaster experience filled with stepping out of our comfort zone as engineers. We learn to fail and fail again, but sometimes failure creates the biggest learning opportunities.
Our first product was a tracking system geared towards firefighter use. We asked questions and found out what they would value from the product. During this process, we discovered the questions asked have to be worded carefully as to not influence the answer of the interviewee. This allowed us to get the most realistic data.
The business model was developed around a product with value and was applicable, but our business model was not viable for a profitable business. Interviewing more and more firefighters, we realized our key activity would be fundraising, which a profitable business cannot be based on. Our first failure and success. A key part of customer discovery is to keep asking questions and to leave no stone unturned, looking for the company's true activities and the product's true value. Without this, we would not have realized the business model was not viable.
The failure of the firefighter customer segment led to a late pivot in the semester towards hospital applications. The late pivot created a bit of a panic as we would not have a lot of time for the customer discovery, understand product value, and develop our business model.
A big lesson we learned is the value to the customer cannot be assumed. When going to the new customer segment, we did not detach ourselves from the scope of product use for the firefighters. Instead of really finding out what the hospital's value, we rushed into the situation and assumed that they would want to track their employees and patients to improve efficiency. We attempted to validate our assumptions, but it did not work as we did not have a value seen by the hospitals.
We soon discovered after many conversations our technology would be best utilized towards patient safety. Even with our focus on what seemed to be most valuable, hospitals were still reluctant to invest. This is because they are either currently satisfied with measures they take, or they are already using or looking into similar products.
We also learned the importance of knowing the details of the technology or the product the business is based on. Potential customers and investors would always get to a point in the conversation where they would want to know the details and capabilities of the product. In a real business situation, communication between the technical team and the business team is vital for a company to sell a product or capture investors.
This failure allowed for our team to learn and have the most important realization of the class. Customer development and finding value in a product is a thorough, time-consuming process. Rushing in and trying to assume answers, the complete opposite of what we are taught, creates false value for the business, leading to failure. It made us realize how important all of the steps we took with the firefighters were.
This validated the class for us in a way. A huge part of creating a successful business is separating our perspective of product value from the customer's perspective of product value and focusing on the value the customer sees.
Another important note is the fact that customers can find value in the product, but they may not be interested to invest. This happens when other aspects of their business outweigh the value of the product, or they do not have sufficient funds to make the purchase.
A very important lesson taken from this experience is that we learn to listen. It is also important to recognize a failure, why the failure occurred, and to get back up and work towards something new and apply those lessons learned from the failure and successes of the previous attempt. Building a business is a very literal phrase.
A few customer segments and application to be researched if we had more time would be inmate tracking for correctional facilities and livestock tracking for farmers.
Created using Powtoon.